Hello, I'm Nathan. Welcome back to WMF Reacts. It's a little bit later than I planned because I was planning to do this for Saturday, but I've had many problems with copyrights and all sorts of stuff. So let's have a go at this one. So it's going to be two-pack again today. This one is changes. Been requested by someone leaving a comment on the last two-pack YouTube video. So we shall have a look at this. As always, if you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, and have a look at my Patreon. You never know, you might find something interesting. But let's just get on with it, shall we? That's just the way it is sampled there. Obviously, it's a song, I know. So some things will never change. So interesting start. I know that music does go through all different genres, samples of different tracks being used, and everyone's Linkin Park quite a good example of using stuff from like James Bond and then putting it backwards and lengthening it and all sorts of weird stuff. So yeah, that's all fine. Let's try that.
Come on. I see no changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself? I'm tired of being poor and even worse, I'm black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a purse to snatch. Cops give a damn about a Negro. Pull a trigger, killing, he's a hero. Get it to the kids who the hell cares. One less hungry mouth on the welfare. First ship them, don't let them deal with brothers. Give them guns, step back, watch them kill each other.
Okay, I'm going to stop it by there because it is going by quite quicker than I can keep up with the lyrics, to be honest. So I've got the lyrics next to me, and we'll go through a little bit and try and kind of get to the bottom of what's going on. I understand that some rap can be slow and some can be really quick and sort of lyric after lyric after lyric. I know I've listened to Eminem in the past, and some of those like, what? It's just going so quickly and so well that it's sometimes difficult to grasp what he's actually, singing about or talking about, however you want to put it, however you want to say it. Like, so let's have a look. Come on, I see no changes. Wake up in the morning, ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself? Tired of being poor, even worse, I'm black, my stomach hurts, I'm looking for a purse to snatch. Cops give a damn about Negro, pull the trigger, killer, N-word, he's a hero, give crack to the kids who the hell cares, one that's hungry mouth on welfare. Give them step back, watch them kill each other. It's subject matter that I expect from rap, especially with something like Tupac, obviously the tragic way he died and all the gang violence and that sort of thing. You kind of expect this is where it's coming from, which is what surprised me with the previous one. It was a lot more emotional about his mum and the troubles they had and the hardships and all that sort of thing. So this is more kind of what he's going through in his life as of the time of writing, and obviously really difficult life and always being kind of the minority, I suppose, in many ways. It's different in this country. We don't have the same kind of culture, so cops don't go around shooting people because of the color of the skin. I'm not saying that happens, but that's kind of what we see on an outside view looking at American culture, and we don't get that kind of thing in this country. I know people go, oh yeah, but this happens. Yeah, but if somebody's got a knife, they're not going to be able to stab 20 people, are they, in one go? Somebody's going to stop them. So it is a difference between a knife and a semi-automatic or non-automatic weapon. So we'll not get into gun control and everything else because that's something that is beyond this. So we're just talking about the music and the lyrics. So let's carry on. So far, I like the music that they're using. That's the way it is. It makes sense for the subject matter as well. And the music's been changed a little bit, different instruments involved and so on. So it's a little bit different. And I quite like the cadence of how he's getting through the lyrics as well. It's quite a nice rhythm to it, which I'm quite enjoying. Although it's harder for me to pick up the lyrics because it's going a lot quicker than I'm used to. I like the way that it is going in line with the music without being completely in line with it. The music is there and he's going over the top of it, not necessarily in line, but there's something that kind of pulls it all together, you know what I mean? It's quite interesting. Let's make sure I got to the point of the lyrics.
It's time to fight back, that's what Huey said. 2 shots in the dark, now Huey's dead. I got love for my brothers, but we can never go nowhere unless we share with each other. We gotta start making changes. Learn to see me as a brother instead of 2 distant strangers. back to when we played as kids, but things changed. That's the way it is. Come on, come on.
That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. That's just the way it is. Oh yeah.
Stop by there because there's a lot to go through. So let's have a look. They're giving guns, step out, watch them kill each other. It's time to fight back. That's what Huey said. 2 shots in the dark, now Huey's dead. I'm not sure who Huey is. It's obviously a friend of his. I got love for my brother, but we can never go nowhere unless we share with each other. We've got to start making changes. Learn to see me as a brother instead of 2 distant strangers. And that's how it's supposed to be. How can the devil take a brother if he's close to me? I'd love to go back to when we played as kids, but things changed, and that's the way it is. So it's, you know, it's the sort of themes that I expect. You know, they're all struggling against the system and against, you know, the people that want to keep them down because of the colour of the skin, because of the area they grew up. But they're also fighting with each other and different gangs and different streets and different regions. I was like, well, if they could all kind of get together as one and help each other and be brothers, then people wouldn't be able to keep them down as much because there'd be more of them with the same cause and the same goals, rather than them all struggling against each other and against everybody else, which is kind of sad, really, isn't it? That, you know, feel that you're in that position, you can't find a way to get out of it, but everyone else is struggling the same and struggling against you. It's not great, is it? Something that we don't have quite the same level in this country. Obviously, we have, you know, different economic backgrounds and, you know, financial backgrounds and all that sort of thing, but it's not quite the same level of violence that there is in America. Partially, again, guns is a huge difference. We don't get so much of that. There are still some in this country, but not on the same sort of level. So, you know, you don't get the gang shootings and so on. You may get gang violence, and it happens, you know, just down the street from me, between a lot of the barber shops type of thing. That's a lot of difference. Not generally people from Wales, it's people that have come here. Nothing against immigrants before anyone says that, but that's what a lot of the barber shops. There is a lot. You'll find that in South Wales at the moment. There is a problem, and it's not because they're barber shops, it's what else they do as well. It's a lot of money laundering and, you know, possibly drugs and trafficking or whatever else is going on in the background. It's not them just cutting hair, although, you know, some of them are really good hairdressers and so on. I go to a few of them, but there's background to that. And then they do have the kind of fights between the different ones, and it's kind of strange to see in town, to be honest, when you drive through. And it's quite a nice area, generally speaking, I live in, but it's there in the background, but just on a different kind of level. But anyway, I'm going on away from the song itself, but it's just showing that although we haven't got the same kind of thing, at a lower level we have similar things going on, I guess. Right, okay. So of course, come on, that's just the way it is. Changes, things will never be the same. That's just the way it is. And repeating, so that's taking it from the original song, but obviously somebody else singing it, slightly different tune to it, and, you know, slight differences. Right, let's carry on.
I want to be, only way I've been practicing my whole life to live my life is to be responsible for what I do. I don't know how to be responsible for what every black male did. I don't know. Yes, I am going to say that I'm a thug. That's because I came from the gutter, and I'm still here.
I see no changes, all I see is racist faces. Misplaced hate makes disgrace to races. I wonder what it takes to make this one better place. Let's erase the wasted. Take the evil out the people, they'll be acting right. Cause both black and white and smoke tonight. And the only time we chill is when we kill each other. It takes skill to be real time to heal each other. And although it seems evident, we ain't ready to see a black president. It ain't a secret, don't conceal the fact. The penitentiary's packed and it's filled with blacks. But some
back there and go through the lyrics. There's some interesting things. I do like the sound of his voice as well. Very clear listening to the lyrics, although I said it's hard to keep up sometimes. It's a lot quicker than I'm used to in songs. But I do like the tone of his voice as well. It's really clear. It's a nice level to it. It's quite deep and quite meaningful, and it's a lot of authority in his voice. I can imagine he'd be a great speaker. You know, you could imagine listening like, you know, Martin Luther King and people like that, and Barack Obama, who's just said about not ready for a black president. and America had an amazing one. From our perspective, there's lots of people thinking other things with Trump and all the other nonsense that's going on, but from an outside perspective, Obama was pretty good. We haven't had a black prime minister in the UK. We've had several female prime ministers, but let's not get into that because that's sometimes a sore subject for many people with Margaret Thatcher and everything else that's gone on in this country. But yeah, it's quite interesting seeing this. This is obviously a while ago, and things are changing, but not quick enough. There's still a lot of the same problems from what I can see from the outside. So as we always think in the UK, many people in the UK would like to have seen, Obama carrying or somebody like Obama, and then look what you've got. Maybe things could have moved on a little bit. But anyway, okay, I see no changes. All I see is racist faces. Misplaced hate makes disgrace to races. I wonder what it takes to make this one better place. Let's the razor wasted. Take the evil out of people, they'll be acting right, because both black and white are smoking crack tonight. And any time we children when we kill each other, takes skill to be real, time to heal each other. Although it seems heaven sent, we ain't ready to see a black president. I said it's a shame that didn't continue, because I think he was really good. And it's not about the colour of his skin. He was just a genuinely sort of good human, as far as I can tell. And he had a way about him that made you think, oh yeah, this guy cares. He wants to make a difference. The way he spoke, he was articulate. He was full of authority. You don't often get that, which is a shame. People in power like that should be somebody that you can look up to, not somebody that just go, oh, God, not him again. We've got in this country, Keir Starmer is a complete waste of space. He's awful. And I think politics in general has gone, instead of it being people wanting to make a difference in the lives of themselves, their families, and the people, in their towns and cities, politics has become just about money. I'm getting into politics because I want to make some money. And that's just all about. And that's so sad. I want a time back that, people did want to do it to make a difference. There's just too much money in it, maybe. It's like, soccer, football, whatever. There's so much money in it. People are now, growing up playing sport because they want to be millionaires. They want to make 2 million a week and have the flash cars and supermodel girlfriends. Back when I was growing up, soccer, I call it that for Americans out there, it was about the love of, where you lived. Yeah, people supported like Man United and all that, but it started out as supporting your local team. And people grew up wanting to play for the team they supported, even if it was Man United or Liverpool or Everton or whatever else. People grew up wanting to play for those teams because they had a love for that team and they'd follow that team everywhere. And now it's just money. So all it is a business. And we've lost something major with that. It's not the entertainment it was. The working class people can't go to the matches. It's too expensive. Look at WWE. It's gone the same way. It's thousands now for a ticket. When I was growing up, WWE was fairly basic. And now it's just money, money, money. The storylines are crap. It's just a way to take money off people. And it's so frustrating. Once again, I'm straying from the point. But it makes you think of all these things. So I think what I found out about rap so far is obviously Tupac, specifically because that's the ones I've listened to. His songs make you think about something. He gives you enough information for you to think, hang on a minute, what was that about? And then you kind of expand on that in your own sort of way. Like this, just talking about black president, we're not ready for that, and evil. I take the evil out of people, they'd be acting right. Black and white smoking crack nights, so there are similarities between the two, but it's always the blacks that get blamed for it. The penitentiary pact is filled with blacks. Some things will never change. It's sad to see somebody feeling that way and wanting to make a change and can't do it, but he writes these amazing lyrics that made people think, yeah, it's unfair, it's really crap, and why can't we make a difference? And that's what we need. But we need people to all want to make a difference. And when you've got people like Trump in charge, that everything's about him, and his supporters are all about themselves. We've got the same in this country. We've got Reform that want to push us back into Victorian times. They don't want women to go out to work. They think people should be taxed if they're not having babies. And you just think, what is that about? Like, seriously, it makes no sense. Everyone should be equal. We shouldn't have this person shouldn't do this because of their gender, that ethnicity, their background, where they're from. It doesn't matter. People are people. Everyone should all have the same chance and the same options and the same chances. And it's just really, really frustrating me when you get somebody going, oh, it's all the people on the boats coming over, taking our jobs. No, it's not. It's because you're too lazy to get a job yourself. Other people aren't stealing the jobs. They're taking the jobs you don't want to do. You know, stop blaming other people for your own mistakes, your own problems. You make your own way in life. There are barriers. There always are. And some people have more barriers than other people. I'm not saying they don't. But you can't just blame other people coming into your area. You know, it's... This country just doesn't make it. Anyway, let's carry on.
Things will never change. Try to show another way, but you're staying in the dope game. Now tell me what's a mother to do. Being real don't appeal to the brother in you. You gotta operate the easy way.
I made a G today.
But you made it in a sleazy way. Sell it back to the kid.
I gotta get paid.
Well, hey, well, that's the way it is.
I really like the kind of rhyming and the way he says some of the words. So there's some interesting ones there. Let's go back.
Staying in the dope game. Now tell me what's a mother to do. Being real don't appeal to the brother in you. You got
Yeah, so you know, what's a mother to do? And appeal to the brother in you. So obviously rhyming at the end of each line there.
You gotta operate the easy way.
Love the way it goes easy. I like the ways. Some of it could be, you know, accents and the way people talk in different places. Some I always find interesting with singing and rap and things like that in general is how accents can come through, because you know I'm used to the accents around here, the accents see on TV, and then hearing ones like this where he says things in a very specific way is quite nice.
But you made it in a sleazy way. Sell it back to the kid.
I gotta get paid.
Well, hey, well, that's the way it is.
Come on. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. That's just the way it is. Oh yeah.
I do like the difference in that and the way it is. The people they've got singing it's quite nice. They've got a nice tone to them. It's a nice clean sound. It just feels really nice. You know, the original is totally different to that, and it's nice hearing the difference. And somebody else is using it for a different reason. It's quite good when I see music that I know being flipped on its head in another way, which is quite nice. I've seen that in a few different ones that I've reacted to, where they've taken a song and then changed it. There's a lot of people have done that. So one of the examples I can think of, I've not done on this channel that I know of, is Lady Gaga's song Bad Romance. An interesting song, pop song and all that, interesting lyrics. But 30 Seconds to Mars, interesting band. Jared Leto, I'm not a fan of his acting, but his singing's quite good. He did a version of that song, but he slowed it right down, more acoustic, and changed the feeling of the song. And it changed from a pop song to one full of hurt and pain, and it was amazing. If you've not heard it, go find it. It's really interesting to see how they've changed a pop song into something a lot more emotional, a lot more raw. So that's what I quite like. I've seen that sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh, come on. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. Oh, yeah. That's just the way it is. Oh yeah.
You gotta make a change.
Rap star and actor Tupac
Tupac Shakur was riding in his black BMW. The 25-year-old rapper had long been criticized.
is also charged with
Today, hundreds of students outside the nation Islam school pay their respects to the slain rapper.
not guilty.
To survive. And still I see no changes. Can a brother get a little peace? It's war on the streets and a war in the Middle East. Instead of war on poverty, they got a war on drugs so the police can bother me. And I ain't never did a crime I ain't have to do. But now I'm back with the facts, giving it back to you. Don't let them jack you up, back you up, crack you up, and pimp smack you up. You gotta learn to hold your own. They get jealous when they see you with your mobile phone. But tell the cops I can't touch this. I don't trust this. When they try to rush, I bust this. That's the sound number 2. You say it ain't cool, but mama didn't raise no fool. And as long as I stay black, I got a stage strap. And I never get to lay back, cause I always gotta worry about the payback. Some buck that I roughed up way back, coming back after all these years. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat. That's the way it is.
Interesting stuff again. It just makes you wonder with, you know, all the feelings he has, and he wants something to change. Just imagine if he had had a different start in life. What if he had had a start like Barack Obama had? Imagine if he had had that and didn't have, the gangs and all the dark side of life. If he had been born in another area, just imagine what he could have done. It's sad to think that people that can have amazing ideas and have lyrics like this and the poetry he did and wanting to make such a change and knowing that things need to change but can't do something about it. And it's from a life that things like this happen. It's kind of second nature and it's just what it is. It's really, really sad. So I've seen the changes, kind of both get a little piece. It's war on the streets and war in the Middle East instead of war on poverty. They got war on drugs so the police can bother me. Exactly, why isn't it a war on poverty? Why do we have so many rich people right at the top and all the people at the bottom have nothing, and yet they're the ones that are paying for everything? They get taxed and everything just gets more and more expensive, and the people at the top don't notice that. They don't care about that. Let's imagine if we could strip away the poverty and everyone had what they needed to survive. You wouldn't need people going out and selling drugs and stealing and killing. Wouldn't need to be so much because people would have what they need. There would always be people that will want more than they've got and will find ways to take it the easy way, I guess. But it's something that's been floating around quite a few countries is a national living wage. So everybody, no matter who they are, where they are, has a certain amount of money given to them by the state regardless of what they do. And then you work and you get money on top of that and you get taxed on that work and so on. But you get a minimum wage that allows you to just live whatever happens. So, you get injured, you lose your job, you've still got an income that can pay your basic bills. It's not going to pay for luxuries and holidays, but it's going to pay your housing, your food, utility bills, enough to just cover that. So that's always done. So you don't have to worry about it. If you want a better house, then you top up that money. You want better groceries, you top up that money, but you have the basics no matter what happens. Imagine a world like that. And people like this wouldn't need to struggle. They'd have that start. They'd have the chance to get educated to a higher level if they want to, or they have a chance to find a job that's right for them rather than they're worried about their parents being evicted because they can't work, because they're looking after the kids. And you wouldn't have all of that. You'd have people being able to just survive. You'd get rid of most of the welfare then, because if everyone's got the same, you wouldn't need the welfare because everyone gets it. And then if you can get a job, you've got more money. It's just, there's enough money in the world to do something like that and help people out. Yet we've got trillionaires going around on their private jets and billionaires and millionaires that do anything they want and come and go as they please, and they don't look after it. It frustrates me. It really does, because it could be so fixable. I know people go, oh yeah, but you're giving everyone something for nothing. Yeah, and why not? Maybe people wouldn't want to work then. Yeah, but people would want more than they've got. If they have a basic that they can live on, everything else then is just improving things. People would have more money to go out and buy things. Maybe wages would be a little low because wages are topping up your income, but people would have more money to spend on things they want. It's just, this is this is the thing that it's making me think about all these things so much, and it's just so unfair, and it's just, this is bringing it forward into my mind, all the challenges, all the hardships, all the problems that shouldn't be there that these people face. And it just frustrates me that it doesn't have to be this way. Why isn't there change? Why are people persecuted because of the colour of their skin or their gender or whatever else? It shouldn't be happening. We're a civilized people, supposedly, Mankind, womankind, whatever you want to say. Humankind has been here for thousands of years. And why are we still doing the same nonsense? Anyway, right. I beg it on because I'm straying for the point all the time, but it's just really, really making me think. That's what I'm finding with rap. It's making me think more than like rock music is a different kind of animal. And pop music can just be about nonsense, and rock music can be about nonsense and dragons and stuff to kind of, I guess rap music is trying to tell you about things that are real and make you think about it and say, this can't be happening. Why is this happening? Why are these people doing this to each other? Rock music is a lot about love and loss. Well, that's country as well. Love, loss. I lost my girl. I lost my truck. I lost my horse. That's kind of country in it. Rock music is found this woman here. Like it's all that kind of side of it. There's all the demons and so on. If you look at something like Ronnie James Dio, riding with demons and kind of Dungeons and Dragons, sort of high fantasy sort of thing. We get that as well in rock. And so, some rock music deals with war and things like that. Like Sabaton is a great one where they go through historical battles. They've got things about the different world wars. They've got things about historical battles. It's they're incredible bands. Heavy rock, one of my favorite ones. So it's quite interesting to see different types of music, the subject matter they deal with. And from what I'm seeing so far, rap is there kind of to make you think about life as people are having at the moment and the struggles. Other music is kind of to take you out of that and to show you the good things and make you think about other places and, fantasy and the things off the side to distract you from life. I guess that's probably what a lot of music is, to distract you from life and make you feel things. Rap is making me think things rather than just feel things. That makes sense? Right,
Things will never be the same. That's just the way it is. Oh yeah. You're my brother, you're my sister. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. That's just the way it is. Oh yeah.
Some things will never change.
yeah, I think that made me think way too much. I went on and on and on many tangents because that is definitely what I found. Rap makes you think. Other music, it does make you feel, but other music is focused on making you feel a certain way. Nostalgia, love, sometimes hate, or loss, nostalgia. But from what I'm seeing of rap so far, it's making you think about something. It's going, stop, how about this? Why is this happening? Why are these people doing this? Look at what we have to do. Rather than imagine you can do this, it's look at what we're stuck with. Why we have to do this. It's interesting. It'd be interesting to see if there's the more fantasy element of rap. I expect there's more. Some of that I may not see as much, but there's obviously going to be parts of it where it's not about the struggles and the hardship and what life is like. There's got to be more about what life could be like, or about a movie or a book and things like that. So it'll be interesting to find out. Anyway, I've gone on far too much. This is a much longer video than I intended to, but I said it's making me think, and it's frustrating that it's still that way even after all this time. I don't know when this was released. It was a while ago, because obviously he's been gone for a while. So yeah, frustrating, isn't it? Anyway, thanks all for joining. Please comment, like, subscribe, all the usual stuff, and let me know what you think. Am I going too deep into the lyrics with this? With the regular music I do, it's more about the vocals and the techniques and things like that, and then it's just touching on the lyrics. But I think with rap, it's more about the lyrics, and I said it makes you think more than feel. Let me know what you think. Anyway, I've gone on for long enough. Till next time, bye bye.